The order you invest your money matters more than what you invest in. Get it wrong, and you're leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table. Here's the exact sequence. First $1,000 goes into a savings account. That's it. Not your 401k, not stocks, not crypto. A boring savings account. Now you might be thinking, $1,000 won't cover most emergencies. Correct. That's not what this is for. This is catastrophe prevention. Here's the math. Your car needs an $800 repair. You don't have cash, so you put it on a credit card at 24% APR. Making $25 minimum payments, you'll pay $517 in interest over 46 months. That $800 repair just cost you $1,317 and 4 years of stress. With $1,000 saved, pay cash, rebuild it in 6 weeks, save yourself $517 and 4 years of anxiety. This isn't investing. This is insurance against financial disasters that destroy people. Non-negotiable first step. Once you hit $1,000, every dollar goes to capturing your full employer match if you have one. Here's why. Employer match is a guaranteed 50% to 100% instant return. Nothing else comes close. Let's say you make $70,000 and your employer matches 50% up to 6% of salary. You put in $4,200, they add $2,100 free. That's 50% return immediately, before any market growth. And here's what makes me crazy. About 25% of workers don't contribute enough to get the full match. They're leaving over $1,300 per year on the table, according to Financial Engine's research. Your employer is literally trying to give you money, and you're saying no. Even worst case, you have an emergency, withdraw it early, pay the 10% penalty and 22% taxes. That's 32% total. But you got 50% from the match, still up 18%. The match beats everything, beats paying off debt, beats any investment you could make, everything. Got your $1,000 buffer, getting full employer match. Now obliterate any debt above 7 to 8% APR. Credit cards, personal loans, payday loans, all of it. Here's the math everyone ignores. $7,000 credit card balance at 22% APR costs you $1,540 per year in interest. That's $128 every month just evaporating. If you're putting money in investments, earning 8% while paying 22% on debt, you're losing 14% annually. You're going backwards. But here's the psychological trap. Paying off debt doesn't feel like progress. You pay $1,000 on your card, your net worth goes from minus $7,000 to minus $6,000. Still negative, feels like treading water. Investing $1,000 in stocks? Your account goes from $0 to $1,000. That feels like winning. This is where people destroy themselves financially, optimizing for feelings instead of mathematics. Look, paying off 22% debt is identical to earning a guaranteed 22% return risk-free. Show me any investment that guarantees 22% with zero risk. Doesn't exist. Can't be done. Think of it this way. You're in a boat with a hole in the bottom. Water's pouring in. You can either bail water out or install a bigger motor to go faster. Most people install the motor. They invest, while water pours through the hole. Then wonder why they're sinking. Plug the hole. Then add the motor. 6 months saved? You can negotiate. You can wait for the right roll. You have leverage. And this is where it gets really interesting. National Bureau of Economic Research found unemployed workers with emergency savings found jobs paying about 7% more than those without. On $75,000 salary, that's $5,250 extra per year, every year, for your entire career. Over 30 years, that emergency fund just earned you $157,500 in additional lifetime income because you could be patient instead of desperate. High-yield savings account, earning 4 to 5%. Not stocks, they crash when you need them. Liquid and safe. Got a high-deductible health plan? This step is critical and almost nobody does it. HSA, Health Savings Account, is the only triple tax-advantaged account that exists. Contributions pre-tax, growth tax-free, withdrawals for medical expenses tax-free. 401k, taxed on withdrawal. Roth, taxed going in. HSA, tax-free on all three ends. 2026 limits, $4,300 single, $8,550 family. Here's the strategy. Don't spend it now. Pay medical expenses out of pocket, invest the HSA in index funds, let it compound for decades. Max it at $4,300 per year for 30 years at 8% returns, $530,000, completely tax-free for medical expenses. Fidelity estimates average couple retiring at 65 spends $315,000 on healthcare and retirement. Your HSA just covered that entire cost tax-free. Pull that same $315,000 from a traditional 401k? At 22% tax bracket, you pay $69,300 in taxes. HSA saved you almost 70 grand. Emergency fund built, debt destroyed, HSA maxed. Now hammer retirement accounts, 2026 limits, Roth IRA, $7,000, $8,000 if 50 plus, 401k, $23,500, $31,000 if 50 plus. Roth or traditional? Simple. Young, low tax bracket? Roth. Pay taxes now at low rate, never again. Peak earnings? High bracket? Traditional. Get deduction when it's worth more, but you can do both. Max traditional 401k at work, max Roth IRA separately. Max a 401k at $23,500 per year, age 30 to 65, 35 years, at 8% average return gives you $3.8 million. And here's where compound interest gets absurd. That first $23,500 at age 30 grows to $320,000 by 65. 1 year of contributions becomes $333,000. If you've reached this step, you're in the top 15% financially. Vanguard shows only 14% of workers max their 401k. Additional money goes to a regular taxable brokerage account. No special tax benefits, but no restrictions. This is your options money. Early retirement, career change, starting a business, financial independence, low-cost index funds, S&P 500 or total market, long-term hold. $1,000 per month for 25 years at 8% returns? About $950,000 of pure flexibility. Here's the thing. People make financial decisions based on feelings, not math. According to the Federal Reserve's 2023 survey, 37% of Americans can't cover a $400 emergency with cash, but Vanguard's data shows 14% of workers are maxing out 401k contributions. Think about that overlap. There are people putting $23,500 a year into retirement, while they can't handle a $400 emergency without debt. When that emergency hits, they put it on a credit card at 23% interest, while their 401k earns maybe 8%. They're losing 15% every year. They're going backwards while thinking they're being responsible. Debt feels scary, so they pay it all off, even low-interest debt, instead of investing. Investing feels responsible even when they're carrying 24% APR balances. There's also FOMO. They see the market going up and think, I need to get in now. So they invest without an emergency fund, then the next crisis forces them to sell at a loss. Personal finance isn't about being smart. It's about being systematic. Mistake 1. Aggressive investing with no emergency fund. Market drops, they panic sell, or emergency hits, they sell at a loss. Temporary problem becomes permanent wealth destruction. Mistake 2. Skipping employer match to pay low-interest debt. Paying 4% student loans while ignoring 100% employer match is choosing 4% over 100%. Mistake 3. Psychology over math. Paying off a 3% mortgage instead of investing at 10% returns. Over 30 years, that costs hundreds of thousands. Here's what you do today. Step 1. Identify which level you're on. Be honest. Check your accounts right now. Step 2. Calculate what you need to complete that level. $1,000 for starter fund, $4,200 for full match, $24,000 for 6 months. Get the exact number. Step 3. Set up automatic transfers today, not tomorrow. Today. Automation removes willpower from the equation. Step 4. Once complete, immediately move to next level. No celebrating with purchases. Maintain momentum. Look, most people watching this won't do anything. They'll nod along, think that makes sense, then go back to doing exactly what they were doing. They'll keep maxing 401k while drowning in credit card debt. Keep buying stocks with no emergency fund. Keep making expensive mistakes. But you're different. Here's the truth. People who build wealth aren't making $200,000 a year. They're making $65,000 and following the optimal sequence consistently. Best time to start was 10 years ago. Second best time is right now. Pull up your bank account. Figure out which step you're on. Calculate what you need. Set up the automation. Do it today. 10 years from now, you'll either be financially secure because you followed this sequence, or you'll still be confused and broke, wishing you had started today. Your future self is counting on you. Now go, build your foundation, step by step, dollar by dollar. The smartest order wins every time.